We have some interesting things that we hope you'll find useful to hear about today. We're going to start with hearing from Michelle McDonald, and I've got to read her exact title because she has to have two business cards. But Chief Officer for Academic Programming, Atlantic City, and Associate Vice President of Academic Affairs. There will be a quiz. Let's give a warm welcome to Michelle.
I'm going to be really quick because I know that you have a lot on your agenda this morning, but I'm really just here to welcome you to Stockton, Atlantic City. How many of you have been to the campus before? Oh, I'm so happy. So I'm going to give you just a snapshot of where we thought we'd be and where we are, and how hospitality has helped us to get there. So in our first year, we had some modest goals. We wanted to have at least 100 courses per semester down here at Stockton, Atlantic City. We beat that target by 25%. We wanted to have at least 1,000 student course registrations per semester. We beat that. Well, we have over 4,000 student registrations by the end of this academic year. So we're thrilled, and we're growing. So we're going to be increasing the number of courses that we have down here, which means we'll be increasing the number of students that we have down here. And the reason I can tell you that that's going to happen is because we have a number of different programs that have contributed to year one: social work, business, education, psychology, sociology, but hospitality has really been one of our stars. And next year, it's our shining star. Hospitality had made the move to both refresh their curriculum to make sure that they're up to date with what your industry needs in terms of our graduates, and they've decided to locate the bulk of their program here in Atlantic City, where they can be closer to partners like you, where their students can have experiences that they can take seamlessly inside, outside the classroom. So it's not just that the internship contributes to their academic education, it's that being grounded in this working environment is the core of their academic education. So we are thrilled to be welcoming hospitality and tourism management studies to Stockton, Atlantic City in a big way, starting this coming fall. And because of that relationship, it is all the more essential that we're able to work with partners like you. So thank you all for being here this morning, and I wish you all the best as your program continues.
And this is a hospitality event, but if you will excuse a short input for those of you who might have people or know people thinking of business, by next year, the plan should be that it should be possible to be a business studies major and plant yourself in Atlantic City and do all of your courses in Atlantic City. I'm not quite sure that they would get away with all 4 years without ever taking that bus to Galloway, and nor do we wish they would, but that's the other sort of piece of growth that the School of Business is involved with. So next we're going to bring up Dana DeFury from the Career Center, who is going to talk about a very nicely packaged employer internship toolkit that should help you make the experience of getting an intern even easier. Dana?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. I first would just like to say I really enjoy working with the hospitality program, and thank you to my colleagues, both faculty and Tara, who have invited me to be a partner in all that you do to support students. Like I said, I really enjoy working with you all, and also our partners on the employer side. I really appreciate working with you as well and supporting your recruitment efforts. So one of the things that I've done in this last year was pull together some best practices and tips to support employers who are recruiting students in the hospitality and tourism industry, as well as in other business operational areas. And so it's branded as the Employer Internship Toolkit. There are some handouts on the table that indicate the URL that you can access that after today. But I wanted to just talk briefly about the 5 steps to promoting internships, and this can also work with promoting job opportunities. So I'll just run through them quickly. So the first thing I really encourage employers to do is to write a strong job description. Really build out what your expectations are for the candidate, what projects they'll be working on, what requirements and skills you're looking for in a candidate. We have found over the years, just interacting with students, that they are most attracted to opportunities that really provide those details. So to better assist you in recruiting quality talent, we really encourage you to take some time to think through those things and build out that job description. So the next thing we encourage you to do is to promote the opportunity centrally on our job board, which is known as Stockton Works. All of you in the room have an account with us already, and many of you have posted the jobs there. This is really the tool that we use to centralize all job opportunities that come in for our employer partners. And this works really well when we're collaborating with faculty and Tara and other support across campus, is that everybody knows that the first place to go to for opportunities is on the Stockton Works tool. So we really encourage you to list the job opportunity there first. This way all students have access to that information, and they can access it 24/7. But building on that, once the opportunity is listed centrally, we can then help support you reaching your target audience. And by that I mean we have the opportunity listed, so then we can cross-promote directly to niche groups on campus or other ways to support your reaching your target audience. So I can take that job description and I can push it out to our hospitality faculty and inform them that this great opportunity that fits what their students are interested in is posted in the system. Please redirect students to the Stockton Works tool to find more details and to apply for that position. We'll also reach out to student groups like the Hospitality Society or the Event Planners Club and or other organizations across campus that will help you connect a little bit closer with the group that you're trying to attract. And the next thing I really want you to be mindful of is promoting during peak times of year. I know business needs dictate when you need to hire, right? And that doesn't always match with our cycle of working in that semester, right? So I just want you to be mindful that students, as they go through the semester, they are working on that mindset in terms of a time frame. So what students will come to us, we know at certain times of the year when they're most engaged in the search process, and want to inform you of those timelines to help you really reach the audience when they're most engaged in the process as well. So think, if you can, think about promoting opportunities during those peak times of year when we know students are most engaged. So that often corresponds when students are thinking about what their classes are for the following semester, meaning October is a great time to start promoting for spring. It's also a great time to start promoting for summer. And then in the spring semester, we see a lot of activity in our office in February and March as well. Okay, and then the last thing I want to inform you of is, building your brand on campus and participating in other activities if you're able to do so. So we do have our annual career fairs, which I know you've all been at, which are October and February, and we will continue to have those events. But if you're looking to connect with audiences in a different format, I'm always happy to explore that and provide you some options. So that could include maybe speaking in a couple of classes. It could include just tabling on one of the high traffic areas on campus. It could be co-facilitating an interview prep workshop with me or another member of our team. So we want you to be thinking about just how to get your organization out there and inform students that you are an employer of choice, not just by posting a job and not only at the career fairs, but we want to make sure that they know who you are all academic year long. All right. Thank you again for your time. I appreciate it. And my cards and, like I said, the employer internship toolkit are on your tables. If you need assistance, please reach out at any point. I'm happy to support you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Career Services is a great partner for the School of Business. It's been great to have them there. Next, we're going to hear from our own Donna Albano, who is going to come and tell us all of the other exciting things that the Hospitality and Tourism Management Program is going to do once we've got them down here. Thank you, Donna.
One of the things that's going to help the transition, it's interesting. We've been
in Atlantic City. We just opened really the doors in September, and we've offered a myriad of classes. Several faculty members' offices are physically here. I see more faculty moving here permanently. And we're still really figuring out the back and forth because a lot of the students have other commitments on campus, and I think that we'll start to be able to see a bigger footprint here. And in an effort to do that, we have taken, and it takes a long time in academia to revamp curriculum. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our goals for revamping the curriculum. We have finally looked at the possibility of our students having a slight, what we call area of interest. So instead of a very general hospitality and tourism management degree, which is what we have been delivering, and the students that come work for you take part in our internship, that remains an integral part of our curriculum, we have decided to allow students to identify an area of interest that they might want to take a little bit of a deeper dive in. And from getting data about other international programs that offer hospitality and tourism management, by polling our own students about what their interests are, by looking at the internships that students do, we have devised the following 4 areas of interest for students to have a concentration in. So the signature area of interest that will be focused primarily in Atlantic City will be event planning management. And I know there's people in this room that are very happy about that because a lot of students express interest in event management. And when we took a deeper dive, there's a lot to event management. So we were able to build out our curriculum, add additional electives, and build this event management area of interest that will be focused in Atlantic City. So we added additional electives to our program, and so students will take required courses in event management and then additional electives like catering management, event sales and management marketing, and then move on to 2 additional electives that maybe a food and beverage class that would complement event management. In the tourism area of interest, they're going to take a contemporary international tourism class, they're going to take a destination management class, and they're going to be able to take 2 additional electives as well. In the restaurant and beverage management track or area of interest, we have a course called Intro to Casino Management, so students will learn about casino management and operations with Jane Buchanevich, and then they will also take a hotel simulation class. So in events planning management and in the resort management, we have information system software, right? So we're using programs like Social Tables, and we're teaching students like the Smith Travel Research Star Data reports. They're getting certified in industry analytics. So we really did look at industry needs and some of the credentials that our students are gonna need when they graduate, and embedded these in some of our new core offerings and curriculum. So a lot of that information comes from you too. We know what the students are learning in their internships, and we know the skills that they need, and so we're trying to provide those things in the classroom as well. And then in restaurant management, is that the one I didn't do? We have an advanced food and beverage management elective that we added to the curriculum this semester. We are very happy to share with you that we have a coordinated effort with our friends at the Academy of Culinary Arts. They have a beautiful campus in Atlantic City. They have 2 beautiful state-of-the-art food labs there. And because of low enrollment on their end, and because that was supposed to really end up being more like a training facility for some of the casino food and beverage workers, or a culinary team, we really looked at this opportunity to have our students enroll in an elective on our end, go physically to the kitchens, to the labs, in a course that we've dubbed Advanced Food and Beverage Management. And so they're learning hands-on food and beverage skills, food and beverage management skills. So that remains an elective. They're there for 4 hours every Friday. They're being educated by a chef educator at the Academy of Culinary Arts, and their final exam was a pop-up meal and a pop-up kitchen for the last 4 Fridays of their class. I think actually today's the last one, so you could probably pop over there and have a little meal. But and if you saw some of the press we got for that, we did a good job in trying to promote the fact that we have this great collaboration with Atlantic Cape and their Academy of Culinary Arts. So our students have been able to benefit from that. So advanced food and beverage management. We also offer a wine fundamentals class now as well. So we've been able to kind of work through all the particulars of actually allowing students to taste wine in a class. So needless to say, it's popular, but it's also very informative, and it allows, again, we have very targeted internships, particularly one at Borgata, that focuses on wine and beverage management, right? So our students are getting those skills as well, and just generally in a food and beverage management degree, or at least an area of interest, they would have that skill, and then they can still take 2 additional electives. We are very excited to kind of roll out these changes, have a focused track or a focused area of interest in Atlantic City, which is the events planning management. And before I just brag a little bit more about some of the things in our program, does anybody have any questions about how that new curriculum is going to look, or contain, or input, or anything? We're excited. We think it's going to work. The students are excited. The students currently in the track, in the curriculum right now are not going to be affected. They can opt to move to one of these areas of interest, but they would stay in their additional, what they're doing right now in hospitality and tourism management right now. So this is effective of September. We have rolled out the new electives. They have a curriculum worksheet that they kind of move through, so they'll have an opportunity to stay on the existing. You can't kind of rip the rug out from students that are midstream in a curriculum right now, so they can stay and maintain. The core component of our curriculum, which you are all involved in, is called an experiential learning sequence, right? So our students have to get some professional work experience hours, which means they have to work in the industry before they can ever even entertain doing an internship, and that's to make sure that they have some industry experience on their resume before they come applying to all of you for an actual formal internship. We built in a career development class, which is a mandatory course in our curriculum, and we're hoping that they're coming to you more prepared with a professional resume, with interviewing skills, with an updated LinkedIn site, with a lot of self-assessment in that class, MBTI and StrengthsFinder. So things that they'll be able to articulate in an interview or in a networking session. So we've built that career development, and that is a requirement for the internship. So they're coming to you prepared, they're taking their internship with everyone, and our internship is anytime, anywhere. So it is offered every single semester, including the summer. Students do not have to stay local. Many work wherever, outside of the state, outside of the country, quite frankly. So they can be employed anytime, anywhere, and that was one of the curriculum changes we made several years ago. So that's intact, and that still remains, even though we've built out these areas of interest. Anything else? All right, so if you just allow me to brag a little bit more. In addition, the name will formally now be Hospitality, Tourism, and Events Management Studies. If you're used to seeing our acronym HTMS, it will remain HTMS. But the actual formal name, when we roll out some marketing and branding, again for the fall, will be Hospitality, Tourism, and Events Management Studies. It more clearly delineates the course content that we're delivering, and it definitely is a marketing tool for us to attract students to the Atlantic City area of interest. We are very excited that we have 2 very active student organizations on campus. One's called the Hospitality Society, and we will have a newly kind of rebooted, revamped Stockton event planners with the focus and the area of interest in Atlantic City. We really want these students, we host a lot of events on campus, and our program hosts a lot of events. There's no reason why those students couldn't be helping us coordinate and host those events, and then be able to build a resume of event management experience while they're part of that club. So that's the intent of the Stockton event planners. The Hospitality Society does things like goes to the New York Hotel Show, hosts our distinguished guest lecture every single semester, and I can jump to that. If those of you who are unfamiliar, we did host Anthony Malcurie from Hotel Impossible right here in this room in the fall with over 100 students and industry partners in the room, and I would say that was a lively evening with some fun discussion for sure. Then we have Eta Sigma Delta. We have an International Honor Society. Our faculty advisor is Dr. Joe Lemma in the room, and he does an excellent job each academic year honoring students 60 credits or more with a 3.0 or better that do community service. And then these students have kind of like this lifelong association with Eta Sigma Delta, which is an international hospitality society. We also host an alumni panel every single semester, every single academic year, and we did this in the fall. And I really want to brag just a little bit about what our alumni are doing. We had 7 alumni on the panel this semester. One of them is one of the restaurant and bar managers at Margaritaville, Brett McCarran. Melissa Smith is the assistant general manager of all of the restaurants at the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City. Chris Jones is the director of sales at the Sonesta Suites in Summers Point. Mike Brock
is the digital media manager for the Monmouth County Tourism in Freehold, New Jersey. Eric Shedd is the banquet manager at the Days Hotel in Toms River. Susan came back from New York City. She's the revenue manager at the New Yorker Hotel in New York City. And Scott Armato is the content manager and coordinator for Cape May Brewing. So I say that and I share that with you to kind of give you the scope of jobs that our alum are doing, the things that they embark on once they graduate here. And we love that we keep them connected to our students. So we have a very formal alumni panel, but at the end, they all just kind of end up talking and sharing cards and networking. So we're very proud of that as well. And then I will just lightly mention the fact that in trying to develop this area of interest, particularly in event planning, Noelle Naylor, Dr. Noelle Naylor in the room has been very instrumental in bringing a certification agreement on this campus to deliver in June called the Event Design Certificate. And some of you that are very familiar in the events field know that this is a coveted certification in the industry, very high level. It was in partnership with Caesars Entertainment and Meeting Professionals International. I don't want to botch it, but, and I just know that that was an incredibly long coordinated effort to be able to offer that cert here. So as we move in this direction, we definitely want to align ourselves with strong industry credentials and partnerships that give that area entrance, our area of interest, some credibility, if that makes sense. So we'll definitely be pushing out some of that event design certificate information to you. You could share it with your team and your staff. So thank you for that. Great job, Noelle. And I'm just going to go off script for 1 minute, if I may. The last time we did a whole revamp curriculum change was when we had a cohort model of the internship. So those classes that I described, the internship, the career development, all those self-assessments were in a cohort model. We broke it apart for a number of reasons so the internship could kind of stand alone. And by doing the cohort, we had to the students had to be here, obviously, to have a cohort. And the desire was that students wanted to go and work anywhere and still be able to earn that credit. So when we broke it apart, one of the things that was really important, and to the dean, we went to the dean and said, well, we really need help coordinating all of these internships then, because students are now going to go all over the place. And we're really going to have to kind of wrestle with all of these different employers. And all of you know, there's all this paperwork and agreements, right? So we have been incredibly fortunate to have someone at the helm coordinating all that. And there's no way in the world we could do it without her. There is an endless stream of students at her door constantly. They have to get approved for internships. They don't know if they have enough credits. They have a million questions. Guess what? They wait till the last minute all the time. And she gets it done, right? She coordinates all of that paperwork with you, all of the agreements, all of the sponsorship agreements, all of our evaluations. She never wavers. She flies whatever flag we're waving. She marches to the beat of our drum. She participates in our faculty meetings. She adjuncts. She's in our classrooms with our students. She advises our students. She takes trips with our students. She acts as a co-advisor and a coordinator. She's an amazing colleague. She works our open houses, all of our orientations. And I can't thank her enough. None of us would be here. This breakfast would not take place. All of our interns would not be as successful without Tara Marsh.
So thank you, Donna. I also really want to call out from the things that we have here. I'm sure the same way the general public believes, they're opening up a new restaurant or a new hotel, and I just walk in there and it must have just appeared here. And curriculum management and revision is another one of those things that it has to be dealt with internally within. So you've got to get the 8 cats that call themselves hospitality faculty all herded in the same direction, and then that's only the beginning. It has to go through various approval steps, and I think they really have done a nice job, and we're really looking forward to. I think it should be a lot clearer to our students, and it should also be a lot clearer to industry what what we are preparing them for and producing. So I want to thank the hospitality faculty for hanging in there. There were times when it didn't look like we were going to get here, so let's give them a hand and for everything they do. And then we do just have to brag a little bit about this event design certificate, and this in partnership with MPI. This is a big deal. When you go to MPI, it says certificates, and you or it will soon. You punch on this particular one, and here are their partners: San Diego State on the West Coast, Stockton on the East Coast. I think it's Concordia in Canada, and another school in Amsterdam. And there we are. San Diego used to be the only U.S. supplier, and now Stockton's the other one. So if you are interested in this certificate, local people, sorry, you don't get that trip to Amsterdam anymore. You can come right here. We're very pleased to have this, and it's Michelle in the room. I shouldn't say this, but the New Jersey procurement laws would be enough to kill most cats. So we were very excited to be able to get through that. So we are just very pleased. So much has happened in the last year in hospitality, and it's great stuff. All right, now I'm going to bring up Donna Hauer. There is, of course, no free lunch. There's no free breakfast either, so to talk about another opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me on this one. Most of our internships, practically all of our internships, if they're going to do it for credit, students must get paid in their internships. And that goes for business students as well as hospitality students. Hospitality students do over 225 hours in their experiences. So it's really important that they do get paid. What happens is they incur costs if they aren't getting paid. We do waive this stipend, we do waive this requirement for anybody that is working in a nonprofit or government agency. Now, to spend all that time to do this internship and not get paid, it's a tremendous burden on students sometimes. So starting last year, we came up with the idea that we should probably provide some type of funding for these students that are doing these unpaid internships. So the internship stipend fund was created, and this is specifically for nonprofit or government entities. The goal of the organization is to make sure students get some type of a compensation for what they did. Now, they travel to their internships, they have to get themselves lunch, their meal plan isn't going to work when they're out in their opportunities. Sometimes it requires them to wear professional attire. Not all students have exactly what they need to appear in an office, 3-4 days a week. So it's really important that they do have some type of help to get these things. So this is pretty much what the goal is of this fund. We started this fund last year, and how we did it was during our Day of Giving. Dean Wagner was very generous at one point during one of the hours that anybody who put forth a fund, she would match it dollar for dollar. So we were able to build the fund a lot that way. And what we have now is the spring of 2018, we offered 8 student stipends totaling over $2,000. Fall of 19, there were only 2 students doing internships in nonprofits, and we gave them $500. And this spring, we have 4 students, and instead of just having them go through the application process, what we did was we divided the fund up between those 4 students. So we gave $1,200, and it was $300 per student. So what happens, they get a check and they can do whatever they want with it. They can apply it to their future semesters, they can go and replenish their gas tank, they can actually go out and buy themselves and a couple of outfits so they have when they have to go out on these experiences. So that's really basically the crux of what we're doing with this. We need your help. we have to be able to sustain this. It's not going to last just by using the day of giving, and when students actually, or when people come across the giving page on our website. So we really need to get it out there and let people know that this fund exists, and with your help, we can continue it. Some people are able to do it through businesses, some people are able to do it as individuals. Nothing is too small, but we want to be able to make sure we keep giving students these funds every semester. This is what our website looks like. If you go onto the School of Business webpage, there'll be a scrolling banner at the top, and when it says the Stockton Elevate, this is the page you come up to, and it's just quite simple. You can just, push give now in any designated amount, or you can come up with your own amount. That would be very great if you were able to do that. And this just tells a little bit about the experiences that some of our students have had, where they've been, what they've been doing, and in some cases where they continue to go. Some people have had such great experiences in nonprofits that they want to stay working in nonprofits. If you're so inclined today, there is an envelope here. If you want to take one with you, that's fine. If you want to contribute today, that would be awesome. But we thank you for anything that you can do, and we really appreciate you being here today and being a part of our Stockton family. So thank you so much.
And I always like to say about this that it's always good when you find a win-win situation, but this is a win-win-win situation, because by promoting this, you are not only supporting Stockton and the hospitality program, that's one win, you're supporting a specific student who gets your help, and you're supporting a nonprofit. So a lot of these places you saw, we had a hospitality internship at St. Jude Hospital for Children in New York City. So you get all sorts of stars in your crown. So, please consider doing what you can. You notice we all apparently listen to a lot of public radio, don't we? So we sound like them in the middle of their fund drives. Anyway, so thank you so much for coming. To make sure we give a few thank yous, Tara Marsh made this event happen with the able help of, I see Daniela over there, and other business staff. So thank you for making this great event happen. Thank all of you for coming. Anything else? Okay, one last thing.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. I do want to, hopefully I can get through this. So now that you've had the opportunity to hear all about the exciting and new things that we have going on within the hospitality and tourism program here at Stockton, I want to take a few quick minutes to thank all of you. As the internship coordinator, I have the honor to be able to work with each and every one of you on a daily basis to promote your opportunities to our students, help recruit and give you the talent that you need, that you're looking for in our younger generation, and that's going to help you be successful. But I can only do this and help our students with you on my team. I can never thank you enough for your continuous support of our internship program. If not for employers like yourselves, our partners in this community, in Atlantic City and throughout, our alumni, and there's some of you here, and I'm a proud alumni as well, and most importantly, you as our friends, we would not be able to provide our students with the invaluable hands-on experience they need to succeed in this industry. So it's all about you. I do this for you, and I thank you. So again, I thank you for all that you do to guide, teach, and mentor our students along the way, because it's all about our partnerships. That's key. So again, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you again next year with even more exciting things happening. And I would like to say, if you haven't gotten anything to eat, please do. We still have plenty of food, and take some more time and network with some of our faculty, our amazing faculty that are here, our dean, our assistant dean, and all of my support staff, who I wouldn't be able to, again, be able to do this on a daily basis for our students. So thank you.